and welcome to my podcast. My name is Della Babcock, and I am a 19-year-old from a super small town named Cedar Woolley, which is located within Washington. Today, I am going to be giving you guys a little bit of advice for how to make it through at least the first 2 years of college, and then you can take this advice and hopefully apply it to your life. So, roll the intro music.
Work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard, work hard, play hard. Work.
Yes, that was Wiz Khalifa. I really hope you guys knew that. I hope most of you knew that. If not, yes, that was Wiz Khalifa, and I chose this song because I feel like it clearly represents the main focus of my podcast, which is to work hard in school and the core values in your life, such as eating healthy, sleeping, and being a good student, work in all those areas of your life, and then through that you can play hard. So anyways, a little bit about myself. I'll give you some high school background. I weirdly enough was homeschooled until the age of 16, until I was thrown into a junior college to participate in a program called Running Start. I know what you're thinking. Oh, Lord, we might as well just turn off the podcast now because she was homeschooled and she can't possibly know a thing about school, which may be true, but hang in there. I'm sure I can share a learning tip, I guess, one or two. Anyway, so yeah, this program called Running Start, this is essentially where you complete your junior and senior year of high school at a community college while obtaining your AADTA, which is your Associate's Direct Transfer degree. And today I'm going to be touching base with you about how to not only survive your first 2 years of college, but also how to enjoy them and how to be successful. So I'll just give you a little bit more of a background. My first 2 years of college went by with a blink of an eye. I got all my prereqs done, except that first fall quarter. Like, everything was just so, it was great. But that first fall quarter where I had never been in a classroom before. So it was a really hard transition. And to my surprise, I was more than miserable during that first quarter than I had ever been in my entire life. Truthfully, my life was so just sweet and I was chilling. So that change, it really kicked my butt. But so yeah, I walked into my first class, unbelievably unorganized, a nervous wreck, and I practically cried every time I lifted a pencil. I kid you not, guys. I literally was such a disaster. So after I barely made it past my first quarter at Skagit Valley College, I realized that I should make some big changes in my life. And so the first step to that was when I did realize that I needed a little help sorting out my messy life, I reached out to my parents. For you can reach out to anyone who plays that role in your life, whether that is a family member, a friend, a coach, a teacher, really anyone who you believe has your best interest in mind. Go knock on their door, chase them down with your car, whatever it is, and ask them for help. Don't be afraid to do that because, if you have this good relationship with them, of course they want to help you. So don't be afraid and go and take that first step. And then the second thing I did was I sat down with my parents and I was like, I think the big reason I was struggling so much in my classes and in just my life in general was because I had so much on my plate and I couldn't figure out how to properly manage my time. So my parents and I started to calculate how much time I would need outside my classes to study as well as everything else I needed to maintain within my life, such as work and sports, etc. Whatever it may be on your plate, find a designated time for that and put it in your calendar. Say specifically an example, from 1 to 2, I'm going to be in class, right? So just be specific and that'll help organize your daily routine. So I inputted every single thing into this calendar and I stuck to it. It completely changed my life and it took a massive amount of stress off. In winter quarter and from school past that, it was great and it was awesome. So process part 2, your health. After I completed sorting out my daily schedule, I decided to make even more important changes within my life because I was so stressed out. I did a very normal thing, and I ate like garbage. I granted I was only 16 at the time, but my diet, it was out of control. I felt sick, and I felt super weak, and so I made the decision to start planning my meals out and eating a healthier diet. I was playing 2 sports at the time. Because I was in high school, right? So I was playing full-time soccer as well as running track, and I was burning a ton of energy. And if I didn't change my diet, I wouldn't have enough energy to make it through the day, and I would be falling asleep by the time I had to go and sit down and do homework. So I decided that I needed to start eating lots of protein, vegetables, as well as juicing greens. This, of course, was with the help of my parents, who have studied healthy diets and had a really good idea of what I needed to do. So go reach out to someone that actually knows what to do. I mean, don't just start cutting meals and stuff like that, because that doesn't help you, and you want to be healthy. So eat 3 meals a day, snack, whatever it is, whatever your body needs. Everybody's body is different, so make sure you adjust accordingly. And the biggest advice for health is drink lots of water. It's good for your skin, it's good for your body, and it'll just help you guys, okay? So you know that. You guys are young adults. Drink water. Drink water. I cannot emphasize that enough. The process part 3, how to get good grades. Now that we have talked about changes you should make outside the classroom, let's talk about the ones you should make as a student. Everybody has their own way about how to be successful and how to be a great student, but I guess I'll go ahead and I'll just share a few tips that have personally helped me a ton. Now that my diet and schedule were fixed, well, they were just at least on the right track, I was determined to get good grades. I started sitting in what I call the T-zone in classrooms. Some of you may have heard of this. I didn't invent this. I actually researched it, but it's where you sit within the first 2 rows or anywhere in the middle going back. You'll absorb the most information, and you'll start to be just this better student. And for some reason, where you sit just makes a huge difference, as well as strive to be early. This may seem like a really small thing, but it's huge. Arriving on time and early is such an important aspect for everything in your life. It's important for your future job, and it's really important as a student. Everybody, has those off days, but in general, try to make it, and go to class. Seriously, you guys, go to class, learn. We're paying all this money. It's hilarious. If you really think about it, classes cost so much money when you are in college. So if you need some real motivation, just envision in your head, be like, okay, $10 per class session, and if you don't go to that class, you just spent $10 on it, and you didn't get anything out of it. So ouch, right? That's what I do, and I'm like, okay, I can't miss class. As well as if you miss one class, skipping just becomes normal, and that's where I try to never skip, because I know if I do, I'll start skipping all the time. Overall, these are just the little things that have made a huge impact on the success I had within the last 2 years of my college career, and I really, really hope that you guys have learned something and you can start making changes and apply this advice to your everyday life. The idea is just for you to become happier and enjoy school, because eventually you won't have to be here. So just make the best of it. And thank you guys so much for listening to my podcast. Hopefully this advice helps you. Maybe I will be able to make other podcasts with advice in other areas of life routines. Thanks a ton. Over and out.